Today's chat is brought to you by lootcrate.com. Save 10% on any new subscription at www.lootcrate.com/FFC. Be sure to enter the promo code BRIDGE10 for that 10% savings.
Welcome to Focused Fire Chat. Explore together.
Welcome back for episode 100 of Focus Fire Chat, recorded live on September 8th, 2017, over on twitch.tv/FocusFireChat. A big shout out to our live chat here. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us. This is your host, Blue Crew 86. Alongside me, we have the man who has been said to have the voice of the flowers and is a lover of snacks. Snack lover. What is your name tonight?
My name is Wes.
So just to, as normal, how's your tech working?
It's pretty good. So basically what I have is a red, and is it red or is it orange? I've got an orange and black extension cord running through the garage door into the garage, and that's plugged into your basic 20 amp, 120 volt power outlet. And then that's plugged into my phone charger. And then that's charging my phone while I talk to you fine people in the driveway.
Because Justin is currently in a dead zone. A literal dead zone.
I'm in a dead zone. Have you ever seen the commercials with the guy where he's like, "Can you hear me now?" And he walks around. This is where they buried him.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to say that we have the woman who has the amazing fashion sense back with us tonight. Mel, how's your week been?
It's been pretty good. I mean, Destiny 2 came out today, or not today, but this week. So, I mean,
it's all blending together, right?
It's totally blending together. On Tuesday night, we stayed up and I didn't go to bed until 6. And then we got up again at 8 a.m. because we were hunting down for the McFarlane figures because they were releasing in our area at 8 a.m. at Target. So we decided to get up at 7 o'clock after sleeping for an hour and going and looking for all these McFarlane figures across Reno. And so everything has kind of blurred together. And then I came home and I napped and then I went to work. So, that's kind of been my week. So, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad I was so excited to be able to be back. I've been working a lot on Friday nights, so and unfortunately that makes it a little hard to be here. But I'm excited, especially with all the new lore stuff that's coming out. Like I'm super excited. Like during some of the scenes during certain missions, I was sitting there and bouncing up and down in my seat and like squeeing. So
I mean, it's not like you have a new wallpaper on your phone or anything.
Oh no. Not like there's like sexy robot boyfriend on my phone or anything.
I love the fact that you have it cut off so that it doesn't say card. It's just wild.
That was intentional.
Oh, yeah, I figured as much. But I saw that picture. I was like, oh, Mel. Oh, Mel.
We won't discuss how there's also ringtones on my phone or anything like that.
No, we don't. We have to keep this show PG, right? So.
Yes.
Well, from the depths of the madness-inducing mind maps, we are joined by our favorite Gunter, the one and only Green Eye Music Lover. Green, hope you're doing well. You looking forward to tonight's chat?
I think so. I think it's going to be revealing in lots of different ways this evening.
Nice. I like what you did there. I like how you did that. So let's run through the intro real quick, and then I just jump into the conversation. The topic of today's chat is going to be a look at some memories of the last 100 episodes, as well as a bit of a chat about what we hope to see in the next 100. Before we get into that, however, I do have a few housekeeping notes. In our last chat, we got to hear from the community about their favorite memories of Destiny 1. If you missed that and have any interest in hearing their thoughts, please be sure to check out the new www.focusfire chat for archives of all previous chats, links to the other aspects of Focus Fire chat out on the internet, and a growing collection of community articles. If you don't mind, please give us some feedback on iTunes to let us know how we're doing, as well as helping us continue to grow. As many of you already know, Focus Fire Chat is a cross-community gathering, where the intent is to offer a week-long, in-depth view of a particular subject from within the lore of Destiny and other games. This chat begins every Tuesday morning and runs until the following Tuesday, with topics decided by the group via a poll that begins every Friday and ends on the Tuesday morning of the new chat. Every Friday at about 10 p.m. Central, we get together to stream a recap of the previous week's chats for those who are unable to participate. Please be sure to give some support to the other podcasts in the Guardian Radio Network, found at theguardiansofdestiny.com. These include Guardian Radio, the first and longest running Destiny podcast on the net, Guardian 1, Ghost and Echoes, which also has the Destiny audio grimoire from Destiny 1, and the network's newest edition, a non-Destiny focused podcast, Paragon Radio. Our next chat will be the last of these free-form episodes, and we're planning on chatting about the initial thoughts and reactions that the community and ourselves have had to the new worlds introduced to us by Destiny 2. For now, though, let's chat about where we've been and where we hope to go. So I figured the best way to do this is kind of what we kind of were talking about in the intro there, is looking at the past and then also looking at where we're going. And so kind of what I kind of tried to do was put together some, I guess, bullet point notes of where we started, and then, you know, where we are right now. And then talk about a few things that have developed. One of the announcements that I actually got to make today, which was a really cool announcement that I'm really excited about. And then, you know, kind of what, and I'm just going to kind of pass it between all four of us, really, about what our hopes and our I guess our dreams of what we're going to see for the podcast. But real quick, to just kind of go back to the beginning, Focus Fire. You know, a lot of you probably know most of this history by now, but Focus Fire actually started back in October of 2015. The chat actually started back in September of 2015, but the first stream that we did was October 21st, 2015, and that was basically a year and a month-ish after Vanilla launched. So we have been, I think we are coming up on our our second birthday. And like the episode number here, this is the 100th episode of Focus Fire, the base, I guess you call it the base podcast. We have, since we've started, we have done a number of different kind of side shows, which have been called, you know, the Extra Lore series, which we've now converted into a monthly stream. That before was kind of a haphazard. When we could get around to it, we could do it. We've kind of solidified the schedule for that one today. And then we also have the behind the scenes, which again is another one that was kind of, it was a pipe dream for the longest time. And then we finally kind of pulled the trigger on it. And now we're doing that every quarter, basically. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while doing this. And one of the individuals who was here from the very beginning was Justin. And so I'm going to let Justin kind of give a few of his memories of those times. Justin, go for it. Not to put you on the spot or anything, but keep it positive, because it is the return of yes, and positivity is king.
Did you just say Justin go like I'm a Pokemon?
Yes. Justin, I choose you.
Okay. So, basically, and everyone has heard this story, but I got together with Blue in a admin chat, and we were talking so much story that we got kicked out of that chat and had to make our own chat. And then Blue found his penchant for making rooms. So basically, we made this really cool lore chat that Blue did, where you could talk about the story of this game, and the conversations were so freaking deep and so extensive. It was, you didn't want to tear your eyes away from them because you're like, where's this going next? So that kind of went on for a little bit, and then we kind of had the idea to do, kind of a recap stream about it, and Blue was talking about it, and I was like, hey, that'd kind of be cool. I would enjoy that. So I volunteered to be a part of it. And that first night we were going to do it, my internet went out. So I literally remember sitting there at the computer, thinking to myself, you blew it, man. You had one shot, kid, and you blew it. So, and then shortly thereafter, talking to Blue and then Willie, we're like, yeah, that was cool. It would be cooler if you had anyone on with you, Blue, instead of just you by yourself. So we did it, and then we did it again, and we did it again, and then Blue started recording them, and then people started listening. It snowballed, and it really kind of got away from us. I mean, we really lost control of this thing in a major kind of way. But, the coolest moments for me in the early days was, the first time we had Belle on, I can remember how exciting that was. Then first time we had Bifon, and then me stalking Morla on Twitter and actually having her, like, the funniest thing was me doing that kind of like a haha, this will be funny, I can tell the guys I did this, and nothing will come of it, and then she follows me and responds. So just kind of all those little all those little moments kind of add up. It's an aggregate thing. It's not any one big moment, but just basically a lot of laughs and just a lot of fun and a lot of good discussion about just not only lore. Someone told me this the other day that I know in my personal life that had just, heard about the show and wanted to listen to it because I was in it, said, I know nothing of this video game, but I'm amazed at how much you guys talk about that isn't this video game. Like, I'm amazed at how much you guys talk about history and, and mythology and all this other stuff. And it's actually kind of intriguing, and it makes me want to know why that ties in with a video game. So, I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, it's been super rewarding, and I mean, I'm sitting in a lawn chair in a driveway talking into a cell phone. Like, if I didn't enjoy doing this, I'd be in bed right now. Like, this is one of the funnest. This is one of the funnest things. So really appreciate everybody who listens, and also my fellow hosts who put up with me. So yeah.
We don't put up with you, Justin. We love you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and then I know we also had Willie with us. Willie had to step back from the podcast back in September, about almost a year after we kind of started everything up. He had a couple things come up in real life, and so he had to step back from doing the podcast to focus on that. And then afterwards, we were actually blessed to be joined by Mel for one of the extra lore episodes, which was the Elder Scroll. I think it wasn't Elder Scrolls.
Was it Elder Scrolls?
I want to say that was
yeah.
That was second. I thought we did one before that.
Did we do?
Didn't you do a behind the scenes like on?
Oh yeah, we did cosplay. But did we do cosplay before or after?
That was that was after. That was about a year ago.
Cosplay was after. It was Elder Scrolls, cosplay, Overwatch.
Is the ones, the extra lore ones that we did.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Mel's first FFC episode was episode 20.
20, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
which was the X one.
Yes.
Because I remember how nerve-wracking it was for me getting in touch with Mel and trying to get permission to use one of her photos in the flyer. I remember I was super nervous, and she was like, "Oh yeah, here you go. You want high res? You want low res? You want this? You want that? You want?" She's like, "Here, take it all. There you go." just don't make t-shirts and sell them.
Don't make t-shirts. He nearly did. I swear. I had to talk him down from that edge.
And it was just pretty much. It was pretty much your Huntress cosplay, and then on the back it said, "I know her."
I'll allow it. It's kind of funny because for me with Destiny lore, I mean, I've been playing Destiny from vanilla. I think we all have, and I always tried to talk with my friends and my clan mates that we do talk about lore, and like one person would kind of talk with me and everyone else just kind of glazed over. It would just be dead silence. And so I wanted to know more, and I didn't know, like, I think either the Ishtar Collective was just starting to come online and they were just working on it, but there wasn't too much information. And I found out about podcasts that people were doing about Destiny lore, and I'm like, what? And so, like, I just went down that huge rabbit hole. I started listening to Focus Fire Chat and like Destiny Ghost Stories and a bunch of other ones, and I started tweeting at a couple of them because I just like interacting with people. And Focus Fire Chat was the first one that kind of like pinged me back on Twitter and started like talking and whatnot. And then before I know it, Blue, you reached out to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, yeah. And you said, like, do you want to be on an episode? I'm like, yes, please. I mean, at the time when I got on, and I in comparison, I feel to Green Eye and Blue, I still don't know as much lore. But I was very honored to be on the podcast and to like sit there and actually talk to people that are really into the lore like I was. So I don't know. It was really cool, really exciting. See, I'm getting all like excited just talking about it because like, oh, I remember when. So, and then I continued listening, and then I think around like summertime of that same year. So they asked me to be a part of it a year ago, this last like February-ish. So what is that? February 2016. And then later, and then later that year, they're like, "Do you want to do this like full time?" Because I kept coming on the show, and I was like, "Yeah." So, and then I was on here for a good bit, and I had to step away for the last few months just because there's been a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I just kind of needed to like sort things out. So, and my job, unfortunately, is a night job. So a lot of times I'm teaching at night, and so I can't get obviously on the podcast. So, excuse me, I just ate a delicious cheeseburger. And so
the food of guardians.
I know, right?
Yes.
But I love talking with you guys, and talking to the chat, and talking obviously not face to face, I guess mic to mic with you guys. But it's been crazy, and how much stuff I have learned just from being around the chat and around Blue and Green Eyed and Justin and stuff like that is insane. And I go and I like relay this information back to my clan. They're like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, look at this." And I'm like, "Oh, well, in this Grimoire card where they spoke of this," I start getting all like, I push up my like imaginary geek glasses and start lore schooling them on stuff, and I feel kind of like a jerk about it, but also kind of gratified at the same time.
It is.
But yeah,
we are super glad to have you back, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've missed you guys. Oh man, you know how life is. Like life is dumb.
Life is yep. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're gonna have any disagreement from us on that one. But
especially when you're an adult, like
that's.
I can't tell you times I've sat down and like, well, how come I didn't have a hard time with life when I was 21 years old? You know, and I sit there like, well, Mel, you didn't have a mortgage and a car payment.
That's what I tweeted out earlier today. I was like, I'm looking at the schedule, my schedule for like the office and all that stuff for the next like 2 weeks, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm done being an adult. I want to turn in my adult card. At this point, right. I just want to sit down and play video games. Mm-hmm. It's like the picture of I have a job so I can buy video games, but I can't play video games because I have a job.
That's totally relatable. I totally understand that, like 100%. I wish sometimes that you could just like say, okay, I'm not going to adult for like a week. And
just turn it off.
Not adult.
Just turn it off.
Yeah.
World, stop.
I will admit, on Tuesday before 9 p.m., I cleaned my house, did the dishes, food prepped, made cookies, did laundry, took care of everything. So that way, my free time this whole entire week until next Tuesday, I could play Destiny. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I kind of adulted a lot in one day, and so that way I don't have to adult for the rest of the week besides go to work. So, but
yeah, well. And then I think it was Green. Was it February of this year that we had we talked you into joining up?
Yeah, tricked
you into.
Yeah, I joined officially in February, but yeah, I did. My first episode was on the first Crota team.
That's right. And that's where I found out that you were really good at mind maps, and then I tricked you into doing that.
Yeah.
I was just excited to have another female on the team. So
yeah, girl power.
Yeah,
definitely.
I still think one of my favorite episodes was the rainbow episode.
Yes, with purple.
And
that's
green.
One of my favorites too.
Oh yeah. That was
good.
hilarious.
I think Mel, you were on. Were you on that one? Because it was.
I don't think so. Was I?
I think you were.
I think you were.
Let me see.
The rainbow.
The rainbow episode. I don't even remember what it was about. I just remember being like going into it like this is potentially going to be very dangerous for me.
The special ammo episode, or special weapon episode. We had purple on.
I was on that episode. Yes, I was. Oh, I just now it's coming back. My old lady brain is starting to work now. Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. I still think my favorite one is when we did the Shadows of Yore episode.
God, and you killed me.
Well, Justin wasn't here, so I had to make up for it.
Oh my God, you did. You made up for it fine. You did fine on that one.
You're welcome.
That's also a great song.
I love it. Yeah. I love that I'm such a disruptive force that when I'm not here, there's a vacancy
that needs to be filled. Like people feel obligated to.
No. I don't feel like it's a disruptive force. I feel like it's like an iconic force that it's not focused fire chat unless Justin's on, and I feel like there's just like this void missing.
Aww.
You know, it's kind of like you're not a guardian unless you have the light and a ghost. Well, like you're the light and the ghost. Like we don't have a focused fire chat.
Aww.
at least
now he's really going to cry.
I know now he's going to cry. So
now we have 3 girls on the show.
Guys can cry too, Justin. It's okay.
Yeah.
I've been emotional today.
It was the email that I sent you.
For good, but for mostly good reasons.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
So, what have your favorite memories been as far as like being on the team, episode wise? Justin,
me, my favorite memories of being on the team. Let me think. Well, I think some of my favorite memories doing doing those early shows and not knowing what the hell we were doing. And I can remember the third or fourth one. When I remember the first one, whenever I wasn't talking, I was thinking in my head, what the hell are you doing? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, why are you like, I'm serious. Like, if you go back and listen to like the City and the Factions or some of those early episodes, like there are times where you can hear my voice that I'm just tentative and I'm, not like I am now, obviously, but I think one of my favorite episodes is I think the Exos episode that we did with Mel. That was the first one with Mel.
That was the first one. Yeah, that was the first one.
Yes, I remembered it. Did we already figure that out? Anyways,
remember what you were thinking about when you weren't talking? Yeah.
That I was right. But yeah, doing that one and just some of those, when we started getting in like the 30s, 40 episodes, somewhere in there, really started to hit a groove. And as far as specific moments, the first time we had Bifon is one of the funnest episodes. I'm serious. Go back and listen to it.
Episode 13, Ahamkara.
Yeah, the the audio on like my side, because I was still running a very basic setup. I think it was a My Little Pony microphone, and actually it wasn't even plugged into a computer. It was a CNC. You just like did the wheel and said horse and made a horse sound. That was my setup. But yeah, so that episode is one of the funnest times I've had podcasting, but there's definitely been a bunch of them. All of the audio grimoire we've taken a turn doing, getting to talk to Morla. I didn't get to go to Guardian Con this year, but when we did go to Guardian Con, and there were a couple of people who, actually they were very nice and had me sign an autograph. I think it was more for me than for them, but yeah, like it's amazing. And also all of I think my favorite thing about the whole first year and on is just the relationships I've built, not only with just my co-hosts, but with people in our community and our listeners, and just all our cool Focus Fire family people who are probably in chat right now screaming my name, and I can't see you because I'm living that one screen life right now. But yeah, that was a really long ramble, and I could go more, so I'll stop.
Well, what about you, Mel? What's your favorite memory?
Oh man, I still think the Shadows of Yore episode is still one of my favorite ones.
People still reference it.
Yeah.
I think it was not the fact of what I did was funny, but Blue's reaction to it was my favorite part. So I like that one a lot. And God, there's been so many times that like I know we've had them, but my memory is not as good as it used to be. So like every time we have like our own little jokes and stuff like that, and just going on our random little tangents about things like I love, and learning about different history and stuff. Because I know Blue and I know Justin, actually all of us have always brought some type of extra history outside of Destiny to the podcast. And I think that's really, really interesting. And I love that part. Talking about lore that I know any of us are passionate about. So, Dredging Yore and stuff like that is some of my favorite stuff, and like talking about that and like hearing the passion in our voices and just like really, really going at it like that. That is some of the stuff that I really, really love. But man, there's so many good things that I remember from our stuff. And I can't tell you which episodes specifically they were. They're just like, like fragment memories and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like when we were talking about snakes with Justin and stuff like that. The first time that I heard the, oh my God, do you guys see that? The first time that was played for me, I lost it, and I still lose it every time I hear it.
Blue, she hasn't heard the newest Justin things.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to keep those up. You might want to keep those up.
It rivals it, Mel.
I'm trying to think. Are they able? Oh, you know what? Screw it. I'll just fix it if I need to after. Let me see if I can. Green, you or Mel finish, and then Green go. I'm gonna see if I can find the files.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Justin.
Like a lot of my memories are with Blue and Justin because for the longest time there was just the three of us. Like when I started coming on full time is right when Willie started stepping down. So like I didn't get too much interaction with him. And then right when I kind of stepped out of it, Green kind of took in. So like I don't have too many like personal things with Green. And I'm sorry, I feel bad. But aside from our rainbow episode, like that was great because it was all girls and Blue. Yes. And Blue felt very outnumbered. But like hearing Justin, your song that you did, I don't know. Does anyone remember that? I don't remember what episode.
Which one? Justin's done many songs. Actually, speaking of Justin's songs, I have one of his really good ones, recent ones, ready if everyone wants to take a couple minutes and enjoy it.
It's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut.
There's a story behind it, though.
You ready for this one?
Should we pre-lore this or after on the?
I'll give you the backstory behind it after.
All right.
You ready?
All right. I'm ready. Do it.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? 'Cause there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let shine. Just on the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're
I don't know.
You don't have to feel like a waste of space. I'm kidding. No, who knew that there were this many words in the song? Jesus I literally thought the only parts of that song that existed were parts that were in Madagascar 3. Jesus.
Oh my God. I'm dead. I don't know if I'm dead from laughing because that was hilarious, or dead from my ears bleeding. I haven't. Dear Lord.
Were you expecting an acapella chipmunk version of Katy Perry's Firework? Were you not expecting that?
No, I was fully expecting like you had actually written another playing on your guitar. I was ready for like this deep, soulful Justin of like
soulful.
I don't know.
Oh man.
I like how you really worked hard on that part. I can tell.
Yes.
Oh dear Lord, I'm crying. My mascara is running. Oh God.
So I'll give you a little backstory there.
There's a backstory.
Yeah, there's actually a backstory. There's a Ghost Fragments card somewhere. But basically, we were game streaming, and when we did the episode right after I got back from the reveal in LA, I had been doing an impersonation of Gaul as Bane from Batman.
It was amazing.
And I don't even know if I can still do it, but someone was asking while we were playing for me to do that voice, and my voice was like cracking, and I didn't think I could do it. So I got on the computer, and I was trying to get a voice simulator to make my voice low. And I downloaded this program called Clownfish, and it didn't work. Basically, you downloaded the program.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you download the program, and then to make anything happen, you had to download separate plugins for the different voices. And I was like, no, screw this. I'm not doing that. And all the plugins were like for third party places, and they all looked really sketchy. So basically I thought that was the end of it. I just wasn't going to do it. And then everyone was stepped away. It was like only Green and Ben were still there, and Blue had stepped away, I think. And
no, you came back.
anyways.
You came back, and you were chipmunkified.
I stepped away.
And then you
So
just
when I
kept
came
talking.
back, I was just talking. Yeah.
We thought you knew.
I did not know. So then we, after a little while, I think someone in chat was like, "Oh, we're capitalizing on this," and they started sending in song requests.
Mm-hmm. So there are multiple recordings of different songs that he recorded in this voice. Little Mermaid is the second best.
All right, here's.
Dear Lord.
You ready?
Oh,
All right,
dear
I'm gonna have to mark the time on this one though, because I haven't fixed this one yet.
Oh, you haven't beeped this one yet?
On the fish is better, and the thing in the stuff is great. When you go to the sea, it's better, cause you'll be on the plate. When you go to the sea, when you go on the land, is when you go on the thing is real stew, but you don't know the way you are, because under the sea. Darling is better, where it is wetter, take it from me. Up on the land they work all day, up on the sea they lazy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Up on the sea. I love that really existential lyric in there, because you don't know the way you are.
Oh my God.
It was good. It was a good night.
Oh my God. So how much alcohol was in when this was sung?
Gosh, I don't know. There was too much for me to be able to recount.
Okay, so alcohol was involved. This isn't.
I think a little bit was. I don't think as much as you would think. That one I couldn't find lyrics for very quickly, so I just winged that one, obviously. But I think it was pretty close to the actual lyrics that were in the movie.
How dare you not actually know the words to that song?
Listen.
The best part was when Purple messaged us, and she was like, she got caught by her kid humming. And he was like, oh yeah, let's sing that song, and she couldn't remember the actual lyrics because she was thinking,
Oh no!
That's when you know you're good. When you can supplant the actual thing and ruin it.
I don't know if you ruined it.
No,
I don't know if I may have
better.
improved it.
I think you just made it better.
I think I made it more relevant for the time. Like it's more
Updated?
2000s now. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite memories. That's for.
I feel like you just made it.
Mhm.
You made it justified. Like,
Yeah.
There you go.
I like it.
That's a word.
I like it.
I really wish Blue had pulled the clip of the R. Kelly song I sang.
Oh God.
Yeah. Or,
I didn't. Well, I think that was before I realized what was going on, because I'm trying to remember. Was that the same night? Was that the same?
Yeah, that was the same night.
There was
we were
a few
playing
of them.
Infection.
And if you want a little another fun fact about that night, in order to make this thing go off and stop having my voice sound that way, Pins had to log into my computer remotely and remove it.
Wow.
I believe it was
Like
described
it's
as an orgy of malware.
Yes.
Wait. Why did you actually do it on the computer? Like, why? Justin. Oh my goodness.
My audio doesn't go through my speak and spell no more. It goes through my computer.
He upgraded.
Oh, you upgraded to a lawn chair out in the driveway.
Yes.
When you're coming from a van down by the river, this is an upgrade, okay? I'm just saying.
That's true.
Thank you for, I just want to say thank you, Mel, for expecting something tasteful and soulful from me. And
I don't know why I
sorry.
did.
I don't know why I did.
But you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
expecting more.
So now you have to live up to that.
Yeah, I can literally remember I never really played guitar for anyone before I got on this show. And I can honestly say and I played for people before, but like not many at once or anything, and I darn sure didn't sing.
I liked your singing.
That is something that is a development that has come about because of this experience of like when you talk and a bunch of people listen and then you get a bunch of feedback saying they love what you said, and that happens weekly. It does wonders for your self-esteem. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a better version of Justin for having done this podcast for the past 2 years. So, I mean, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
know we did kind of a recap episode for the community last week, but some of the stuff you guys sent in, it's just, I cried earlier. I know Justin did too with something that we got sent. It's just
the one that we're going to read today or tonight. Yeah, I think that one really. Yeah, I agree.
That one struck me.
Yeah.
Lovely.
But
I just wants to be able to give an electronic hug.
Hug uploading. I really wanted to also just take a moment and talk about, where the podcast is, like right now. But do you, I'm trying to think the best way to do that. And I guess really there's not really an easy way to segue off of the awesome memories part. But like, right now, currently the podcast is sitting, we are at, obviously for Focus Fire, the base series, we're at episode 100. I think we're on like episode 19 or 20 with extra lore. We're on the 6th or 7th behind the scenes. I mean, we're getting close to a point where we're at about 150 episodes total, I think. And out of that, we capped 275,000 downloads earlier, I think last week. So that's for us. That's really amazing. I know it's a big number for podcasts, especially, just kind of to take a step back and look at it from kind of breaking the fourth wall, if you would. Podcasts, it's an oversaturated market. If you don't listen to podcasts, and obviously if you're not listening to podcasts, yet that's not applied here. But, podcasts are, you can throw a rock and hit 50 of them. The podcast, it's a very, 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 very common thing out there. So to have that type of support from the community is in my mind is a huge, huge thing. And we really, these guys have said it. I have continuously said it. Hell, I made an episode specifically talking about this. But it's because of everything that you guys do that we really do. And I mean, case in point is I'm personally, I'm like swamped at the office. Most of you in Discord know that I have not been around because I've literally been working probably 10, 12-hour days for basically the past week or week and a half, getting ready for a big rollout. And I was honestly trying to figure out a way to just take a break. And then we got this email that we're going to read later. And you know what? I was like, it's when I get stuff like that it's like, yep, I can work. I'll drink more coffee because this is the stuff that it helps people. And Justin, kind of talking about the positive feedback that you guys get or that you get with the singing. It's like, when I get emails like the one that we got tonight or the feedback that we get over on iTunes, where they talk about how just by us taking a couple hours out of our week, and I mean, granted, it's not just a couple hours, but recording a couple hours of our week, we have a positive impact on so many people's lives that we will probably, sadly never get to meet in person, but we have a relationship with them through the podcast, through the Discord, through Twitter, through, Destiny itself, the game. That to me is more important than anything. And that's why I keep doing it. And I know that's a pretty common mentality here for the podcast team. The other thing that we are currently sitting at now is, like for instance, we have gotten, sponsored, or we're affiliated with Loot Crate and with Audible. We are now a part of the Guardian Radio Network, which is, it's just huge. Guardian Radio was one of the podcasts that actually got me interested in doing a podcast, them and Podtacular. So that's a huge thing. We're at like 1,100 followers on Twitter for the group tweet or Twitter account, which, I mean, again, maybe not in comparison to some of the big names out there is a huge number, but for us, that's a big deal. That's a big deal for us, that there's that many people that's interested in our random musings that are paying attention. We got affiliated with Twitch, and we got all the stuff that comes with that. If you come over onto the Twitch account, you'll see the ability to do bits we can actually have subscribers because of the Twitch affiliates changes. But there's so many cool things that have happened because of the support that you guys have shown us. The Discord server. I mean, we were originally on Band, and all the pain points of that, and all the complaints and the restrictions that we had with Band in the days that I think, I'm assuming Band has upgraded since then. But, Discord was a big move over. Yeah, Green just messaged me. Skype. Oh, Skype. Justin has a special place in his heart for Skype and his eternal love for that program.
I remember the Skype and Band days. Oh my gosh.
Skype was more painful than Band. I will be completely honest. Band I could live with. Skype, it was, I wanted to drop kick that thing.
Skype was a never-ending parade of disconnections.
Yeah, it was. Discord is Skype enhancing your experience. How would you like us to enhance your experience today? Oh, disconnect every 5 minutes. Yes, please.
By not effing with it. That's how I'd like you to enhance my experience.
I feel like Skype is like our version of. Have you guys gotten? No? Okay.
Failsafe? Well, you cut out.
You cut out.
Oh, I cut out. Okay. I was saying that Skype is like our version of failsafe.
Oh, yeah. I haven't actually gotten that far into the game, sadly.
I have. She's awesome.
Yes. You will understand. Once you get there, Blue, you would go, yes, I understand
now.
What's up,
yeah.
Jason?
No, go ahead, Blue.
I was just going to say, and then, lastly, the website, which is a huge thing. For me personally, this year was, my goal was get that website. We've been talking behind the scenes about the website. and we finally got it launched, and it's everything that we were hoping, really. I mean, it's doing very well. We have a number of people who are interested in posting, you know, fan fiction, and that's something that we have always kind of been asked about. And, you know, we've tried to find places to direct people who are looking for places to put that. And now it's just like, you know what, enough. We're just going to do it. And so, yeah, I just got contacted today by an individual who was actually looking. They're like, "Hey, do you know anywhere I can put Destiny fan fiction?" I was like, "Well, we actually can do that for you." And so we have people who are actually looking for places like that, and that's, you know, that's just something that the community is looking for, that, you know, has kind of come up as a development. And then finally, the community ties. Like today, the group and the alliances that we have made, you know, with Safe Gamers, with the Dames of Destiny, and all the mini groups out there that we are friends with, that we are allies with. There's, you know, there's so many that I'm just not remembering. There's Fireborn Radio, you know, Destiny Lorecast, Rabbit Hole Radio, on, you know, and it just the list is just immense. And it's just, those are, you know, kind of like what you guys were saying earlier. It's like, these are people that we would have never met if we hadn't stuck with it. And, you know, that's just, to me, that's really, really cool. But Justin, I know you had something.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's actually ironic now, because we've had to go back and do a couple shows on Skype for BTS stuff. Our last one with John from Bungie, John Goff, the amazing writer who wrote the Dwindler's Ridge saga. You know, when that man says you're using Skype, Justin sucks it up and he uses Skype. But basically, the ironic part is now I don't get dropped ever. But it was not unusual for me to get disconnected from the call 3 times in a show, and no one would miss a beat. If I stopped, I think Blue secretly read along with everything I said, and if I stopped talking, he'd just start.
You're getting onto my strategy here.
And the only times it got awkward was when I reconnected and was still reading,
which happened a couple times.
Yeah, which did happen a few times. But, you know, those are actually the fun little memories. Like, you know, it's, you don't remember like the shows in the middle there where everything went perfect and there were no problems, and there's, you know, I mean, you remember them for other reasons, but they're not like, they don't stand out. All the little, you know, kind of problems that plagued you, and all the audio issues, and getting this and getting that, and trying to, you know, make Windows recognize your mic as a thing, and, you know, just all that is just part of the experience that really, that, you know, it's just fun. And I told Blue this, I was able to get on chat with some different people during the Lore Mine stream. Yeah, and it was super fun, and I was having such a great time talking to, you know, different folks. But somewhere in the back of my head, I was just like, yeah, Blue's not laughing at my jokes. Like, why isn't Blue laughing at my jokes? Was that joke not funny? Like, what's going on? Am I having an off night? Oh yeah, Blue's not here. Like, this is wrong. So some of it too for me. Some of it for me is the company, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. If everyone stops listening, and, you know, we've got 0 Twitch viewers and 0 downloads, I would still show up just to talk, you know, just because I enjoy it. So that's not a threat. Please don't.
Not a challenge. Not a challenge.
It's not a challenge. Yeah, I would appreciate it if you wouldn't make me prove that. But yeah, I mean, just but a word of advice to anyone who wants to get into content creation, which is a booming niche, and
Oh my gosh.
it's grown by leaps and bounds in the time I've consumed video games. Just know that there will be nights, there will be mornings where you question why you bother. And there have been times where leading up to a show, I kind of had my head in my hands and been like, do you think they'd be mad if I just, like said I was super tired? And, but if I'd been honest, but if I'd just said I'm super tired and I can't do it tonight, and I'm like, I'll pop in pre-show and just let them know. And then 5 minutes into pre-show, I'm, energized and laughing and I want to do a podcast. So just know that if you don't question why you do it, you're probably doing it wrong. And that's me.
Well, and then before we jump into, the future state, I do want to take a moment again to kind of talk about the sponsor that, like I mentioned, we have those now, which is kind of still a bit of a surreal thing for me. But as a part of the Focus Fire chat community, you might notice that we kind of have an obsession with all kinds of geek gear. The Focus Fire chat podcast team would like to offer you a chance to experience the rush of getting a goodie package yourself by actually offering you 10% off any new subscription to Loot Crate. So all you have to do is go to visit www.trylootcrate.com/FFC and enter the promo code BRIDGE10. So it's BRIDGE10 for 10% savings. And then as actually an added bonus, the theme for September's Loot Gaming Crate, which is their big video game goodie package, is Augment, with the featured franchise being Borderlands, Prey, which is a big one that just came out, and Destiny 2. So everyone knows how much of a fan of Loot Crate I already am to begin with. So having it also come with Destiny 2 gear has kind of proved to be a no-brainer for me, at least personally, to get this one, and I'm really looking forward to it. So again, www.trylootcrate.com/FFC, and then it's going to ask you for a promo code, and the promo code is BRIDGE10, and that will give you 10% savings off any new subscription. There's also links on our website for that if you want to pay it, jump over there. But yeah, so with that being said, I want to talk about the future state of the podcast and kind of where we're going with that. And I'm going to kind of start that off with the announcement that I got to finally post this afternoon. And that is to welcome aboard as community managers, our own Pins Halo and Damo L, or Damo as most of us know him. So they have agreed to allow me to subject them to the demands of being the community managers for Focus Fire Chat, which is going to hopefully kind of get us more. We're still kind of fleshing out exactly what we're going to be doing, but some of you might know we have a clan over on Bungie.net that has really just kind of been there mostly for a group. But with Destiny 2, the new clan system that they have, we've had a couple people who have expressed interest in getting into that. So that is one of the things that I don't have a lot of free time. So I was looking for people to help me out with that, and Pins and Damo both helped, or both kind of rose to the challenge on that. And then we're also kind of trying to maybe look at setting up some stuff just within the Discord community, not necessarily within a clan. So, we're going to keep the idea that we're cross community. We're not going to make anything, exclusive or anything like that. But we're looking at maybe doing something like, I don't know, like game nights or something like that. So if you have any ideas for community development, be sure to let us know and, send us emails or reach out to myself or Pins or Damo. And just let us know, if you have something that you'd like to see or like to be a part of that you think that would be a cool thing to kind of put out to the group, Green and the Gunters, for example, kind of came from her helping with the mind map and then discussions around, the content of the mind maps and how they noticed some things were not missing or missing in the database. And that kind of led to the conversation with Ishtar. And, so those type of conversations we love having. And now we have people that are kind of are willing to spearhead those a little bit more consistently than I have been able to. But other than that, we also have the website, which I kind of mentioned as being a big thing for me, at least. And we are hopefully going to see that continue to grow. Right now, we are mostly doing community articles around the Destiny lore. We do have Pins, who has done an amazing job with the Halo lore, and hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of those coming out. But right now, I know we've had a couple people express interest in doing some, personal writing or fan fiction on other games. We're not quite ready to unlock that particular wing of the particular website, because basically we want to, from behind the scenes, we want to make sure that it's appropriate and, all that stuff. And right now, Green and I are pretty much, well, let me just be honest. Green is pretty much the one that is kind of proofreading those. So she's only one person. But yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll get some more traction there, and we'll get some people, who might be more interested in helping Green, or something like that. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I have, and what I'm looking forward to seeing. And then obviously getting more into the Destiny 2 lore. I know that's from just the snippets that I've been able to see.
It's so good.
So stoked. Mm-hmm. So stoked. But I don't know, Justin or Green or Mel, what are your guys' hopes for the future?
My hope is that we continue to kind of incorporate a lot of the different guests that we've had. We've had a lot of guests in the past, and some really, really awesome. Like we've had Bife and Sir Wallen and Bearded Grizzly, and we've had so many really good guests. I want to continue that, bringing in different lore masters or different people from the community who are lore masters into our chat and our streams, because I think they bring a new dynamic, because we have a team of hunters, and I know
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but we have kind of a particular mindset with certain things. Even though we're four very different people, we still like the same thing. So bringing in maybe somebody else's perspective, or I don't know. I like it. I like that idea of having new people from outside of the community, or even if people that are big names in the community, or even small names and growing streamers. They're interested in lore. I like to hear their take.
Justin, what about you?
Yeah, guests are always a really, really cool highlight. For me, and returning guests are like, it's kind of like having a beer with an old friend you haven't seen in a while. I mean, most of them, especially repeat offenders like Uni, and Bife, and some of our other Purple, and some of our other guests who have been on multiple times. It's just fun to catch up with them, see what's going on. So that I always look forward to that. I really look forward to kind of, finding our way again in this new, because it'll be a new playbook, it'll be a new overlay, it'll be a new, it's just fun. It's all so new and shiny, and there's so much more room for activities. So I am just really, first of all, and disclaimer. Go ahead and if you want to call me a filthy casual or, flame me on Twitter, go ahead. I haven't played Destiny 2 yet. I haven't even logged on. My Xbox is still in my Pelican case from when I moved it from my house. So no, I mean that's fine. But I'm actually supposed to go to Hobbit's house and play it tomorrow. But I'm just looking forward to everything that goes along with the new game. I mean, it revitalizes everything, and other than that, I really look forward to having Nathan Fillion on the show, which I will make happen this year.
Oh my.
If you make that happen.
Mel's like,
Yeah.
what?
I'm going to make it happen. Hey,
Yes.
hey,
Yes.
Blue.
I'm gonna fangirl
Well-
so hard if he.
I admit, if I ever actually guest at a show with any of the voice actors from Destiny, I am for sure hitting them up and saying, hey, I do a Destiny podcast with these awesome people. Please be on our show.
Get Zavala,
Nice.
the voice actor for Zavala.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
Any of the
really-
Vanguard voice actors would be amazing. Anyways, continue, Justin. Sorry, that was a treat.
no,
right?
I'm not done. I was winding down. I'm just really looking forward and really looking forward to my partner in nonsense, Mel. We ride again, and and also looking forward to hearing her views.
My views on what we want to do for the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of in the same vein what you guys have been saying. I would love to see more guests on the show. Like definitely like more within the community. I would love to get more people who actually have worked to create this awesome thing that we talk about actually on the show and kind of like talk a little bit about their process and how they created things. 'Cause I think that's also just as fascinating. So I would love to see that happen. But just I don't know, just getting more people, I think, excited within the Destiny community as a whole, and like beyond the lore aspect, and getting people to realize that there's more to the Destiny besides shooting things. I know, like all of us have worked really hard, and the whole entire lore community has worked really hard to kind of like get that information out there, and I think it's been really helping, and really helping make the community a lot more passionate about Destiny in general. So I think just all of us getting out there and inspiring people to talk about something that they're passionate about within the Destiny community, like I think that's amazing. Bringing people together that are from all walks of life that connect over something as simple as a video game, and helping facilitate that through what we do and what the whole entire community does in general. I would love to see more of that, just kind of like connecting people from all over the world. I think that's amazing when we talk to people. God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. What was his name? We talked about, what did we talk about? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look this up. I feel really bad. But just connecting people from all over the world. I mean, obviously Bife is from England, and just to think that like someone
Bo.
Yes, thank you, Bo.
Blissom? What is
Yeah,
it? Bu-
Boamus.
Boamus, yes.
You don't know how to
Thank
say
you.
it. No one does.
He tried to explain it in chat the other day, and then Blue changed his name to Netherland Raccoon or something.
No. That was Kojins.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
five of us.
Who's the Netherland Raccoon?
I got a chance to meet him, by the way, and he is awesome.
Who, Bo?
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
Bo
you
is
That was at
He's
the
really cool.
reveal, I think, right?
yes, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's just, to me, talking with the lore and the little community we've created with Focus Fire Chat has made the world seem a lot less smaller. And I think that's really, really amazing that we're able to connect people all from all over the world. And I want to see more of that. I want to see our community grow, not just within FFC, but within the whole entire lore community and beyond that, within the Destiny community. So, but yes, I think my biggest thing is Nathan Fillion. 2018.
That's your biggest takeaway?
That's my biggest takeaway. I mean, It's Nathan Fillion. Like, I mean, do we really need to go any further than that? I mean, really? Really? No? Okay, that's what I thought.
All I can promise is that I will make it happen, and Blue will be slightly annoyed when I do.
I love that. I love that story.
Mostly because it will involve a random last-minute change to all the schedules.
Yes.
Do you know what? Also, you know also what one of my favorite memories from Destiny over the past year has been. That time Bungie let me name a gun.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Knew it was coming.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm slightly wrong on the.
You need to elaborate to people.
Oh my god!
Is new. Like you can't just say that one time and then just leave it at that. You have to explain yourself.
So I was at the reveal, and the one thing that caught my eye after I played all the game and all the shiny and whatnot, after all that, I was walking around the gun props that were in like a glass case, and the one that stood out to me more than anyone was this beautiful hand cannon that is it's silver, it's got a wooden handle grip, and it's just beautiful. It's got this engraving of rats on it, and actually the hammer of the gun is the rat's teeth. Anyways, so a little bit later, K-Dub and I are over by the food, which was just deserted at that point. Because some people hung out and ate right after the presentation, but after the keynote, I went like bam right in the room, and I stayed there for like 2-3 hours. But I went back to eat with K-Dub, and Irk was there, and we're just sitting there, shooting bull with him, and I was kind of awestruck, and I was sitting there talking to him, and after a while, it just got really quiet, and I said, "Hey, have you guys named that rat gun?" And he goes, he said, "No, actually, no. That's a real fun one, but no, we have not named that one yet. It's still TBD." And I said, "Got the name. You don't have to work on it anymore. That's one less thing. Scratch it off the dry erase. You guys are busy." And he was like, "Oh yeah, what's the name?" I was like, "You should totally call that thing the Pied Piper." And then he was like, "Oh, I like that." And I was like, "Yeah, you can use that. That's for you." And then and then he was like, "Oh." And then he said, "Well, what would the signature perk be?" And I was like, "Rat Pack rounds." And so this whole, I'm not gonna lie, that's like getting called up to the big show for me. When I get to ruin a name before it gets named, that's like a minor league pitcher getting called up to the bigs. I was excited just at the prospect. Now it is a coolly named gun. Its name is the Rat King, but and what I'm sure is a blatant nod to me, Bungie. Oh, sorry. So there's a train going by because I'm in the driveway. Hi, train.
All right, so I think the train is calling BS on this story. I mean,
no, I really wish we can just like play that off like that's how Blue is bleeping out curse words now.
Oh, Lord.
No. Anyway,
now I'm gonna have to go find a train sound.
Now, so basically, they're calling the signature perk on that thing Rat's Pack. It's close.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna take that one as a win.
I can't remember who tweeted it first the other day. It might have been Rhino who tweeted.
It was Rhino or Pin, but I remember Pin's comment because he was like, "Did Justin name something?"
My first comment was he's going to be insufferable now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A blatant nod to me.
Well, is the Pied Piper not the Rat King?
It kind of
He
is.
leads them.
That's true.
He also leads
Oh,
children,
but yeah.
so there's that.
I did break the fact that the perk was to do with your whole fire team carrying it. I did break that on that show. You heard that here first.
I think it was very clever of you to come up with that name, and I nod to Bungie.
I love how you're being diplomatic about it.
Yes.
I feel like I'm being placated. Am I being placated?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
You don't. I'm good.
You are very good. I have no doubts about that. You are much more creative than a lot of us on this podcast, with maybe the exception of Mel with all the cosplay stuff.
Yeah.
Dang.
But Mel makes things.
Mel makes beautiful things, though.
She makes beautiful things, and I make the beautiful things that other people make. I make them silly.
Yeah.
So you fart on them.
Yeah.
I fart on everything, Mel.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
Yes. In fact, if you donate to my Patreon, you can get an exclusive YouTube video where I fart on stuff.
You're done.
Everything.
You're done. You're done. I'm cutting you off now. You're done.
Sorry for the train, by the way.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I said I'm not the only trained podcaster now.
I know. I think Train Chan needs to be the official guest for today's episode.
Yeah.
Green mark it down in your notes. Okay.
Mark it down in your notes.
All right.
Yeah.
It is marked.
This episode brought to you by Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Your only choice for transcontinental transport.
Well, you guys, and going on the live stream, we'll see this, but talking about creation of beautiful things, Green.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to?
So yeah, a couple weeks ago, actually, probably like 2 or 3 weeks after Guardian, I finally got to meet Jake in person, and Jake, as in Lay's Summerstone, creator of Watermelon Exo. I actually commissioned a piece from him for us for our 100th episode. And he came up with a pretty awesome thing. And all that I sent him, I said, you can do whatever you want, but I'm sending you like a bunch of pictures. So I took everybody's like kind of profile-y type picture of anybody who's been on the podcast for a host. So Willie, Mel, Justin, Blue, and I. And I also sent him everybody's in-game at the time loadout as far as their gear that they were wearing. And he came up with a really awesome, it's hard to have words for what it looks like. So Blue, go ahead and throw it up there so everyone can kind of see it. Oh, you're running the race. You have to.
I got it. It's in there.
Okay.
Now I'm stuck, but yes, I got it. So there, it should be on the live stream, for anyone who's there.
And
I can't get on the live stream. Green, can you put it in the show chat?
Yeah, I'll send it to you in show chat. But here's what's even better. I actually ordered posters for everybody. And so Blue is going to send you guys a poster of it. And it's not a terribly large one. It's like 14 by 11 or something like that. But it looks really good. And
yeah, it looked pretty awesome.
So here comes show chat one for you, Justin.
Is the Chihuahua back?
No, well, I mean, he's sitting
God.
behind my butt, but I mean, but no, that was me.
It won't open!
Okay. You make it hard.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he worked really hard on it. I caught him doing it in stream one night, and I jumped in and I was kind of lurking and watching him work, and he put so much detail into a lot of it. Like, if you zoom into it, it is a really well
It looks even
done-
better. It looks even better on the poster form.
Yeah, it really does. It's really, really well done.
I love it. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Oh, listen to me. I'm all like getting all crap here. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. This is amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He did a really good job. Thank him.
And it's in the new social space, the farm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like
So
I like that we're round a fire
Mhm.
Mhm.
chatting.
That was not any direction I gave him. He just came up. And then about a week and a half later, Blue approached me about doing the streams from the farm and just having us kind of milling around or doing things, playing soccer or whatever, and doing the show from the farm. And it's like, yeah, that'd be great.
It'd
be perfect.
Oh, I love this. Oh,
Yeah. But you guys mean a lot to me. I mean, one of the things I kind of mentioned this at once before, that when I was moving from Kansas to here, I lost some of my friends from Kansas, but I got to do something that my wife didn't get to do, is I got to take a lot of my friends with me because I have you guys via the internet,
Aw.
luckily. So I didn't have as hard of a transition as far as meeting people because I had people that I brought with me. Well, you guys mean a lot to me.
we're portable.
Aw,
Yes, you're portable.
we are portable. I am officially the world's smallest Jack. You can put me in your purse.
I don't have a purse, but that's okay.
Well, you could put me in your pocket.
That's your new tagline, by the way.
Yeah.
The world's smallest Jack. I like it.
You have to bleep that out every
do you
episode.
guys want to know the irony of that comment? There's a literal Jack 40 feet from me right now.
and here's Justin. Way to rein that back in. Thank you.
I know. I'm like
real life.
noting. I'm gonna have to have a train. I'm gonna have to go find a short train horn every single time.
All these different train horns. Just get
Hey,
one
if
of
you're
those.
talking about the animal, it's not cursing. I learned that in high school.
Is that how they do it in Texas?
I
Yeah.
feel like if you're allowed to say it on the radio, we should be allowed to say it on a podcast. Yeah? No?
Yeah.
Maybe?
For the most part,
Yeah.
but I go with the safe bet, which means I basically have to monitor everything Justin says.
And actually, I've gone back and listened to the stuff, and it's always funnier with the beep.
It is.
Almost always. Yeah, unless I've said some really exotic turn of phrase and no one knows what it means with the beeps in there. But I don't do that usually. But that's a post show thing. So. Oh man, that is so cool. And Jake Lays Summerstone, if you're not familiar with his work, check it out. Not only the Watermelon Exo stuff, which is Destiny specific, but I honestly, after when we had him on for the behind the scenes show about art, because he also does concept art for video games too, or did. I can't remember if he still does.
Yeah, I think he still does a little bit.
But anyways, just while we were talking to him, I was just scrolling through some of his work because I was really familiar with all the Watermelon Exo stuff. But I went and was reading Moss Creek Divide, which is his other one.
Yeah, that's
And yeah, I was like, by the end of the show, I was like 3 issues in, and I was like, no, what happens now? Like, I was up for like an hour more just reading that comic. So definitely check him out. At Lay Summerstone on Twitter. And yeah, just amazing artist and even more amazing person. I got the privilege of hanging out with him, shooting some people with him, so he's good folks.
Yeah, he's a big sweetheart. He actually did a charity stream the other day for Houston for the ASPCA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was
That was really
drawing doggies with hunter armor or Titan armor on them. It was really cute. Oh, and there was a cat too. It was really, really cute.
My heart,
and Mel's broken.
my heartstrings
I feel like she
are
was
being-
ramping up. Like she was like,
She's charging up. She's charging up on that one.
I have to shift gears in between there to different levels of awe.
Well, you want to hear something that pulls on your heartstrings.
Oh yeah.
We do actually have a dispatch this week. And this was one of those things where it was like I wasn't actually going to do dispatches, but I think that this one kind of makes the cut for a good. I think this one needs to be read to put it there.
Dispatches from the wilds.
So this one was actually sent to us by, I think it's Jamie,
Or Jaime.
or Jaime. God, you're going to kill me with all these different
I don't know.
pronunciations.
There's-
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, Green, do you want to read it? Because it's going to be tough for me to read it. It's a tough one to get through.
Yeah, I started tearing up when I read it to Julie earlier. And he says, I just finished listening to episode 99 and finally got inspired to reach out and just say thanks for all you do. It has meant the world to me. I stumbled across you guys with your dive into Rasputin in episode 62 and have been hooked ever since, listening every week, and at this point have pretty much listened to every archive back episode too. It helps that you have a fellow hunter master race here. Couldn't believe when you were all hunters. When I found you guys, to be honest, my world was in shambles. I was in the process of getting out of an emotionally abusive 12-year marriage, which, while good for my personal well-being, also meant facing the reality of my 3 kids being 1,100 miles away. Plus, my 28-year-old brother was also near death with severe cirrhosis. I don't say all that to seek pity, but just to emphasize I was in a dark place, and you guys, it's not exaggerating that you guys were in the light in the darkness. Justin, your ability to make me laugh has literally turned days around for me. From December 2016 to June 2017, I had my career in FFC. We have never even met, nor obviously even spoken, but Blue, Green, and Justin, it feels like we are friends, and I have needed those connections. So again, thanks for what you do is special. Oh, and just to close the loop, my brother did get a liver transplant in June and is recovering well, so I think the dark days are behind me. The Destiny community is truly amazing, and I am grateful to be a small part of it. Keep up the great work. I will be standing by for those podcasts. Yeah. It's one of those.
I felt like that one had to be included.
It really does. It's one of those things, like, I read that to Julie earlier, and she's like, you hear about, we kind of joke around at my house that King Gathalion is part of the family, because when we were in liberal Kansas back in the day, he was one that we watched a lot as far as streaming, because I like how, for the most part, how he runs his stream, and we would just turn him on in the background. And so he kind of became part of our family, even though I've met him, but he doesn't know who I am or anything like that. But you don't realize how much you make a difference as a community member, as a content creator to people out there. And it just really drives home when you hear it about yourself, because you invite these other people into your life. We watch things from Sir Wallen or Bife, or listen to Guardian Radio, but you really don't realize how much they become a part of your own daily routine until you see something like this.
And I know, Justin, you had...
Yeah. I've said it a few times. If at any point someone's going through their normal day and they just stop and go, stupid. If at any point anyone ever does that and just kind of giggles to themselves and says, "What a dummy," I kind of feel like I've done something. And to hear that, someone that's been going through that stuff, to hear him say, brighten a day or two, like it means a lot. I mean, if you've listened, Blue knows. I mean, I started out when I first started this podcast. It kind of filled a place for me that like I had a lot going on in my life that was similar to what this guy had going on. And there were, I mean, honestly, right when we started was, and this is going to sound bad, and I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way, the worst time in my life. Like, I was having the hardest time in my personal life I've ever had. And life keeps trying to say, "Oh, really? We'll see." But no, I think that was probably the worst time I've ever had. And I just kind of latched on to this show. And I know people like Jamie or Jaime, we'll try to say that like I helped them, but they helped me, and you guys have helped me like so much. And honestly, it's a two-way street there. And I'm really glad to hear that your brother's okay, and just love your life and do what you do, and that's all I can say. And this podcast and this crew and this audience and all the friends I've made from it have taught me that I'm worthwhile, and like that's invaluable. And someone else say something now.
Someone save me. Someone save me. Anyone?
Well, I know I haven't talked about it, but one of the reasons I've stepped back is I've been dealing with really bad depression and anxiety caused by multiple different sources that have been going on in my life. And I really had to step back in the last few months and kind of weed things out, and kind of figure out what I hate to say the word triggers, but basically in a sense, like what's kind of triggering it and what things are toxic for me. And so in knowing that Blue, you have been one of the very few people that has actually messaged me on a weekly basis to ask me how I'm doing. And sometimes I'm not doing well and I don't respond. And then the next week rolls around and you still ask me. And I know sometimes I don't respond for whatever reason that is going on in my crazy head. But knowing that people that I have never met, and that we from doing a podcast, knowing that you guys care about me and about everyone else as a part of this podcast means so much to me. And knowing that what we do, which for us just is something fun that we do side, the fact that it reaches other people and helps them through hard times in their life I think is amazing. I I've experienced similar things doing the cosplay thing, and every time this could be the first time someone says, oh, what you've done has helped me, or it could be the 100th time, and I'm just, every single time I get really choked up about it, knowing that, like, to me, I'm like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. And I know that's, I think, what all of us are thinking in our heads, like, we're just doing what we're doing, and we're just trying to, have a good time and help other people have a good time. And knowing that it has helped people through dark times is, I can't, that is so weighted for me. I don't even have vernacular to describe it. So thank you. So those of you that are going through tough times, if even listening to our silly podcast about train horns and Justin in chipmunk voices helps you, thank you. Thank you for listening to us, and for being here and continuing fighting that fight. I know it's hard on a daily basis with a lot of the stuff that's going on, but yeah, stay strong, guys. Thank you. And we love you guys. Keep at it.
Yeah, and that's actually why I want to, on the website we put in our favorite quotes from Destiny. Well, from Destiny 1. We might have to update them now that we have, a significant amount of quotes to choose from in Destiny 2. But one of my favorite quotes was actually from Praetus, the Paradox mission. And the reason why is actually along the lines of what you guys are talking about. And it's a quote from Praedyth, and he says, "There's always room in the mind for hope. It's the crack that lets the light in." And then he goes on to say, they won't spare the city. They won't even thank you. But that's the thing about light. You never know when it will shine. And so, for me, that was kind of, it's very, very powerful. And I think that's the other thing that, we've kind of talked and we kind of beat around the bush a little bit about this with Destiny. But Destiny is set apart as a game really because, it's in a dystopian model. Like it's not a happy place by any means. I mean, especially Destiny 2, it's, our city got blown up. Everything's burning. Like our vault is gone. My multi-tool got destroyed, and I'm not very happy about that. But
it's back.
I know it is. I'm so excited. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I get my baby back. But the thing for me, at least, that sets Destiny apart, and I think this is really kind of the thing that a lot of people have latched onto, is that Destiny is a game that is obsessed with hope. It is, and it's not like unhealthily upset. It's like it's showing how hope is literally a light in the darkness, and you can take that very far. And I think that's what, for me at least, that's what sets Destiny apart from games like The Division and there's other dystopian games out there. Even Fallout. I love Fallout. I'm a huge fan of Fallout 3. Not so much the other Fallouts, but Fallout 3 is like one of my favorite games. And that's a game in which there's a little hope, but I mean, it's not like, it's not a very prevalent piece of it. But it's a very dystopian model, and it's a very, and then you have like, what is it? Dishonored what is the game? I always keep forgetting. Time Split or Time Shift, which is another kind of one that's kind of like, it's this world that has no hope and blah, blah, blah. And, it's a very common thing for first person shooters, especially because it's a very easy way to explain, hey, why are we shooting these people? Because they're taking away our hope. But in Destiny, there's something about the presentation of hope as a weapon almost. And I think that speaks to a lot of people because of exactly what you guys were just saying. It's a common battle. I think, a lot of people don't realize how common depression or, just in general mental illness or whatever you want to call it, mental health, how common that actually is. And the thing is like, it's very common. It's nothing's wrong with that. Mental health is a very big thing. I mean, you're talking, I am a psychology major. I spent 4 or 5 years of my life studying this exact thing. And the biggest thing was your outlook was a huge component in, dealing with it. It's a very, very important thing. And so when you're talking about a game that is in its core based around building hope and using hope and, finding hope and, you're in a world without light, and now you are the person who is returning the light. I mean, again, that's a very, very powerful thing. And so I think that for me, at least, that's what latches, that's why I latch onto Destiny, especially, is because of just that little granular of a story piece to me is extremely important. And I will ramble on that for hours. You can just ask Justin. Like it's something that I can go on for hours talking about, because I think it's that important. I really do.
It's very important. And there's one major thematic difference between Destiny's Hope and most other, action sci-fi shooter, between this hope and the hope that's in, say, for example, my other favorite game, Halo. Halo's hope is much more egocentric. It's much more tied to one character and, this one chain of events that's unfolding before you. Whereas Destiny's hope is an undercurrent. It permeates the whole game. It's not specific to just your guardian, although they kind of allude to the fact that you're hot stuff. But it's an undercurrent of hope that just kind of wells up from the bowels of this story, and it permeates everything in Destiny. This kind of, and again, I haven't gotten to the new game yet, so I did get to play, some reveal stuff and some beta stuff, but not much. I played the Homecoming mission and some Crucible, and the Strike. But
oh gosh, after Homecoming, Justin, just be ready for tears. I cried during right after that, like after Homecoming.
I've heard it's pretty. It's pretty feels laden.
Yeah,
but I guess what I mean is, I just have this confidence in me that no matter what, the city's been destroyed. The Starfish of Death has taken the Traveler. That Rhino thing has just run amok, and he really needs to be put in his place. But I have a feeling that somewhere there's a chipper kindergarten just kind of bouncing around off the walls like, oh, look, new social spaces. And guess what? We're completely going to kill these big dudes. It's going to be okay. So, I mean, there's this, I don't know. It actually, this is probably a reach, and it's probably chicken and the egg type stuff. But I think that either that undercurrent of hope was fostered by the community that's in this game, or it helped foster it.
Because I know when I went to E3 that a couple of years back, and I got a chance to actually sit down with Chris Barrett. That was actually one of the things that we talked about, was the hope. And that was one of the things he mentioned was very important to them, was that entire kind of feeling of exactly what you're saying is we're going to, the Ghost Fragment Cabal 4 card. We don't understand why they're dancing. It's the whole thing is the Guardians are just kind of the over the top, little bit of ridiculousness there, but that's something that they wanted ingrained in the game. Yeah. They want that thing to be important.
I personally, my opinion is it is the most genius little bit of influencing the type of person that plays your game just through story elements. And Space Vikings prevail.
Ugh, you and the rainbows. But I guess I mean we're running up against the clock for this episode. So do you guys have any final comments or shout outs? Justin, what about you?
Yeah, I've got a great big O shout out. And actually my son's gonna kill me because he really wanted. We're gonna post a video to Twitter, so stay on the lookout for that.
Not 45 minutes long, right?
No, not 45 minutes. This won't be the appropriate length. Thank you, Green. Thank you. Is this where you want to be when the traveler comes back, Green? Throwing rocks at me? No, I wanted to give a tremendous shout out to my now best friend. Sorry, Hobbit, you're gone.
Oh,
Rhino.
Oh, you got it?
Yes. He sent me a genuine 3D printed bright red hunter knife.
Nice.
Just be glad that when he asked me your favorite color, I didn't say orange.
When Blue starts texting me, asking me my favorite color, I know things are getting real.
Either that or he's just
and it actually kind of picked me up. Do you know I was off of work because I was moving, and you know when you get to the end of a move, when you're handling little bitty things, you know, and it's almost like you feel like you're in quicksand because you feel like I'm just a couple more hours and I'm done, and it's like 6 hours later and you're like, I was wrong. And then so I was kind of like I was kind of feeling that way. I was kind of like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to call them and just let them know I'll be out tomorrow instead of today, and this is gonna be till midnight and all this stuff. And then I heard and like some brakes squeak, and then I walked out the back door and there was a mail truck, and Gavin was out there at the street, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And the mailman gives him this long USPS box, and I was like, bring that here. And
is it ticking?
And and I said, who's that from? And he said, Reno. And I said, Reno? And, no, that's Rhino. He said, that's not how you spell Rhino, Dad. I said, that's how Rhino spells Rhino. And
that's how Rhino spells Rhino.
Yeah, and Gavin ran around that empty house for like 4 more hours while I just was a man possessed, because that just picked me up like you wouldn't believe. So thank you very, very much, sir.
Yeah.
And then Green, what about you?
My shout out goes to just the whole community. We would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. And I know we've kind of talked about it already at length this evening, but it really is true. I would not be doing a podcast if it wasn't for people out there who want to listen to a podcast. I honestly wouldn't be doing a podcast if it wasn't for Jay being, or Blue being just slightly like, hey, you want to,
I'm really good. I'm really, really good at doing these things.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
He sounds like that too. You don't know this, but he actually modulates his voice for the podcast, so it sounds deeper.
Exactly. Yeah.
He actually sounds like that little fairy person from that one game.
Wow. That was a hot take there.
What is her name?
Navi.
Navi from Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay!
I love how Mel's like, yes. I'm getting my baseball back. Where is it? Because that's what your response to Navi should be, is where's the baseball bat?
No, I actually I have an inside joke with Blue and Bell that we should call him Glue Crew, because he is the glue that holds everyone together.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's also because Justin doesn't like horses.
Quiet, Elmer. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Blue's picked me up off the floor and then just kind of dusted me off and said, man up, you know, it's not that bad. Do the damn show. So
I don't care about it. Get on the podcast.
yeah, like literally. They want to sit here and watch you cry? You ruined my perfect season. No, wait, that's a different movie.
That's a different movie.
Yeah. No, big shout out to Blue.
And Mel, what about you?
It's the same thing with you guys. Big shout out to the whole community, the FFC team. That's not really a team, more like a family. So, big shout out to you guys. Shout out to Blue for like responding to Twitter on a random day, on a stormy afternoon and saying, yes, come join us. Like again, Blue, what would you say? Glue Crew? Is that what you call him?
He pulls us all together.
That's
and we're stuck with him.
We're stuck with him. You can't get away.
So yeah, big shout out to basically the team, and to the whole entire Focus Fire crew, everyone in the chat, either the Discord chat and the chat on the actual stream. I haven't had a chance to meet any of you guys in person, but I hope one day my adventures in Congoing will change that. So, but yes, and then to the random people that are listening to you that we never actually get to really talk to, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. I know I appreciate it. And then if anyone is listening that actually has come and talked to me about Destiny outside of this little group here, thank you, because I will always talk about Destiny. So if you ever see me doing con stuff, come up and start talking Destiny, and we'll become best friends. I probably guarantee it. So
guarantee it.
Especially if you cut.
When's your next con?
Oh, good thing you mentioned that, because I totally was spaced that. So my next one, I have one here local in Reno called Snafu Con. That's the beginning of October. I think it's 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then Canadian listeners, I will be at C4 in Canada, Middle Canada, not East or West. It's Middle. God, I'm trying to blank on the name. Winnipeg. I'll be there at the end of October. And then Las Vegas, I will be at SabaCon the weekend before Thanksgiving. So if you're in any of those immediate areas and you want to come talk Destiny, definitely come check it out. I would really appreciate it. Possibility of me actually finish Snake cosplay within the next 2 months. We'll see. So, but again, big shout out to especially, like I said, FFC crew, Blue, Green, Justin, aka Snake Lover, my Hunter family, my Hunter family. So, but thank you guys. Thank you for having me. Even if it's sporadically at this point, I apologize. So, but yeah.
Well, I have actually a big final comment. Real quick, Twitter, ask FFC, and then in the emails, we really want to hear your first impressions of Destiny 2. I know Twitter has been quite flush with people's, both the good, the bad, the ugly, and then Justin's. We really want to hear your guys' first impressions of the game. So be sure to email us or let me know over in Discord. And then, as promised, I've been holding this off as long as I possibly could. We did have the digital copy of Destiny 2, or any game. If no, you did not win. Any game on any console for basically the base price for Destiny 2. And when we ran through that, we did all that through the iTunes reviews. So when we did all that, we ran it through random number generator. I was going to stream it last night, but as usual for this past week, I was in the middle of coding some stuff for the office until about 4. So sorry, I wasn't able to do that. But when we ran that, the winner was, and Mel, I think you're familiar with, I think this is someone that we actually got following us through you, I believe. Bjorn, the Fell-Handed?
Yes.
Bjorn!
Yes.
So-
yes, you did. I'm not
Bjorn-
sure who he followed first. I don't streaming, but yes, I do know who that is. Congratulations, buddy.
So yeah, I will be reaching out to you to get, information over to you or find out which console you prefer. And then we'll get you that information. But yeah, so that's really it. And then Justin, did you have anything?
We'll get you that director's cut. We'll get you that director's cut of Slime Rancher.
Little did you know, the joke's on you.
There's an alternate ending with more slimes.
If you have any questions, just contact Justin Sane 0516. Yeah. He's an expert.
I actually already purchased
vacuum
it and
sweeping.
sent it to you.
So, all right, guys, let's run through an outro, and then I will see how much of after show we can do. With that, we'll begin to wrap the chat up. Thank you again to those over on Twitch for coming to spend your evening with us. If you'd like to join us for a live streaming of the episode each week, please be sure to give us a follow over on twitch.tv/FocusFireChat. Links to all our other sites can also be found with our episode archives over on the new and improved www.focusfirechat.com. Please be sure to email us at focusfirechat@gmail.com with any feedback or questions for our team concerning the podcast. And please, please, please let us know how we're doing by giving us some feedback on iTunes as well. Also, make sure to check out our partner podcast within the Guardian Radio Network over on theguardiansofdestiny.com. So, until next time, focus your fire and may your light shine bright.